Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today another exciting release from ICM, a new limited edition version of their Bell Cobra AH-1G attack helicopter from Vietnam, but with the US landing mat, like a mini diorama. They haven't called it a diorama set this time, they're just giving it the nomenclature 48298. But it's a mighty impressive little thing. I think this is going to be, it builds up into different versions of the Cobra as well. It says on the side, AH-1G helicopter with a set of aviation weapons and M8A1 US landing mat. Various versions of the helicopter can be built. The weapons set allows for different combat load options. It's getting better and better. The airfield covering allows the recreation of a helicopter landing pad fragment in 2 versions. Gosh. Includes decals with markings for 4 different versions. Only 1,000 kits available of this model. Limited edition. Okay. And it says it's got 169 parts for the Cobra, and there are 64 parts for the landing mat. It's quite a lot of parts then, isn't it? Okay, so going to be quite exciting, I think, isn't it, this one? So, without further ado, let's have a look at what we got. Oh, hang on a second. It does show on the side the markings. Hold on a second. The 4 marking options that we have are... There we go. That's where I murder the language and get it all wrong. So it's Hulk Puoc Vinh, summer of 1970, or Hulk is the nickname of the aircraft. Sindian, again the nickname, Puoc Vinh, in 1970 again, or Corsair, this is the one that's on the cover, Corsair at Lai Key in summer of 1970, or it just says it's got shark mouth on this one. This looks really evil, and it's just at Pleiku in the autumn of 72, a bit later on. Right then, without further ado, let's have a look at what we got here. Now I might breeze through the chopper fairly rapidly because we have actually seen it before, several times in fact. Now, if memory serves me correctly, the 48 scale chopper here was actually originally tooled by Special Hobby, I think it was, in the Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's not actually a tooling of ICM as such, but they've put it together with a few other mix and matches, including the Bronco, didn't they, recently? 48 scale Bronco. So I'm working off memory there, so if anybody don't shout at me too hard if my memory's let me down, but I think that's correct. I think it's Special Hobby. Tooling of the, and it's a lovely tooling. It's a really nice kit actually. It says, we'll get into this, I might have a chance. Come on, go. Force, there we go, finally. Right, box within a box, usual thing. Yeah, it is, it's the Special Hobby one, I remember it. You can tell it's got slightly different type of plastic, it's a bit darker. ICM have this light coloured plastic, Special Hobby is much darker. So as I say, I'll probably skim through this fairly rapidly really, because it's yeah, something I've seen before. It's really a combo set, this, but you get a lot in the box, and it's retailing at about £50, I think. You're getting quite a lot for your money. So, it says on the AH-1G, it says it was an attack helicopter and undoubtedly became one of the symbols of the Vietnam War. It's created as a specialised attack helicopter and began combat operations in spring of '67 and immediately demonstrated its high combat capabilities. Equipped with powerful weaponry, the helicopter could engage various types of ground targets using its 6-barrelled minigun, 40mm automatic grenade launcher and rocket pods and gun containers mounted on pylons. Lethal machine this, and it's fast. Top speed 282 kilometres an hour. What's that? It's nearly 190 miles an hour, isn't it? Wow. So it's the speed of a Formula 1 car. That is not slow, okay? Goes on to say, for direct ground support, the combat helicopters are often based at airfields very close to the combat zones to give high-speed support when they were needed. To create these airfields, the US Army engineering units used the special M8A1 steel plates for ground covering. The plates were connected either in a checkerboard pattern in a row, checkerboard pattern, or in rows, allowing construction of both small individual pads or large airfields. Incredible. So, and it actually shows it here. Oh, that's really interesting. So it shows it. I'll zoom you in. It says. A bit of zoom. Come on. Come on, camera. You're not tired out yet. Come on. So yeah, basically you've got, this is the components that you're going to use, and then obviously this is what it will look like. You click them together basically and just add a dab of glue. Shows that's the counter invader, isn't it? We've seen that before. And then here that's the way it will look with the Cobra. Interesting, very interesting. So yeah, you can either click them side by side, or you can do them in this checkerboard style. Some very nice decals, as ever with these kits from ICM, including some very nice instrumentation decals there. Shark's Mouth, we've got Corsair, US Army and Stars and Stripes, it's all there, isn't it? Skull and Crossbones, everything's there, isn't it? Amazing. Hulk, Shark's Teeth, a lot. Very nice decals. And there's quite a few, there's quite a few bits you're not going to use, but yeah, as I say, I think we probably won't go through this all because it's going to be a replication of what we've done before. But it's just to give you an idea. I think we'll shorten this one because it's the kit we've seen before, at least twice, and it's a lovely kit. It's got real quality. I'll show you the plastic, but we won't dwell on the instructions too much. It's the usual thing. You're going to build it your cockpit, and then you've got the underside. But it is a very good, it's a very sensible partnership. Special Hobbies kit is a nice one, it's got to be said. And then you've got the option of the different versions, so you can have the big electric cannons on the sponsons on the side, or you've got the gun turret underneath. So many different weapons. It's armed to the teeth, this helicopter. Some very, very impressive stores, and in fact at the end it actually shows you all the stores options here. Just look at this. One thing that does make me a bit nervous is the amount you have to do some masking, aren't you? It's probably not as difficult as something like a Japanese World War II bomber. But you can see there you've got some masking work to do. And then here you've got your stores loadouts, which is pretty impressive. And then finally you've got, it looks so strange from above, it's so narrow, isn't it? Which of course, that's the beauty of it, makes it a very small target head on. Almost impossible to hit unless you just, use a heat-seeking missile or something. And this is the earlier version of the aircraft that doesn't have the later, is that the H model had got this ducted exhaust to stop heat-seeking missiles. It would duct the exhaust heat from the engine straight up into the rotor blades, so it was instantly dissipated, and it stopped heat-seeking missile getting a heat signature lock on it. Interesting. Then you've got the 4 different versions. All the gun pods and the markings are here. Again, quite a lot. You've got the Corsair, the Jolly Roger on it. Or you've got Shark's Mouth on this final one, the 1972 version, which doesn't seem to have a name, that one, sadly. So, there we go. Let's have a quick look at the plastic, because I think you'll be impressed by that. And as I say, we have seen this in another iteration before, but I think it's nice that ICM have put this in a kit like this as a set, because it just goes together so perfectly. And, as it says, it's very synonymous with the Vietnam War. You can tell this is a different sort of bag. It feels quite different as well to the others, so that's because it's not actually tooled by ICM. It probably arrives in this bag from Czech Republic. Let's have a look. Oh, the piece has just dropped off. It's a piece of my rocket launcher. Some very nice clear parts indeed. As I say, you've just got to be careful that you've got to do a bit of masking here, of course. As you can see, I won't take it out of the bag, but you can see there clearly that there's some pretty fine clear parts here. All the roof glass, the overhead glass, the cockpit, all the side panels, and you've actually got 2 different options there, haven't you? It's 2 different variants. Then we've got, interestingly, we've got these rocket pods like the Zuni style rockets, which actually isn't, you can probably tell it's a much lighter plastic, it's a different plastic. And there's 2 of those. Oh no, I lied. Sorry, one is that, and one is more like the Vulcan electric cannon. Lethal weapons, aren't they? Absolutely lethal, these are. It's just armed to the teeth, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. The amount of weapons it's carrying, just a gun ship, literally. Then we've got our pylons and the various small parts, including things like aerials, and also I think one of those is actually a breather pipe from the engine. Here we've got the landing skids. Nice kit this, nice kit there. Now interestingly, where my fingers are, that's very interesting, it did mention you had the option to build different versions of it. I'm just going to check back on the instructions, because look, here is the ducted exhaust that I just spoke of, which I didn't think was included in here actually, this particular one. I didn't see mention of it, but let me just put that over there for a second. Just see if it does allude to it in the instructions which I glanced across. Because that is an interesting development. Does it show it? It doesn't. Doesn't show it in the instructions, interestingly. Doesn't allude to it at all. It only shows it as you see in the artwork. But that's very important because no question that those two parts here, these are the two ducted exhaust parts for the later H version, which blows comes out the back of the engine jet pipe just below the rotor blade, and they actually use that to blow it into the blades to dissipate the heat effect. Very interesting. Then you've got two different options again. The twin gun version, one's electric cannon, one's a grenade launcher, or just a single electric cannon. So that's very nice. You get a lot for your money here. And you can see that there's all these different colours of plastic. Can you see what I mean? Two different types of plastic. That they're offering different things from different variants, and they're throwing it all together in one kit. So it's almost like a bumper bundle. You're getting a heck of a great value for money here, I think. You know, under £50, you'll probably pick this up for about £45 to £49, I think, easily. Very good value. This is the rotor stowage clamps when the helicopter's not in use. Or is it? I'm saying that? No, it isn't. I'm sorry, my mistake. It's the towing. It's the tow arm for towing the helicopter around on these wheels, like on a little trolley that goes underneath the skids. That's what that is. And this is where we've got a piece broken off. This is my cannon piece that seems to have broken off. It's actually one of these. Electric cannon. Mighty weapon. Is it cannon or is it the back of the rockets? Yeah, it is. One's the front, one in my fingers, that's the front. This is the back. You see it's got the fuse tags on the back. That's that one. And then we've got the electric cannon itself, which you can see here. There. That's nice, isn't it? Look at that. It's a nice kit, isn't it? It's got some lovely details in it, it really has. That's a really nice bit of moulding. And then this is the actual the sort of sponsored pods that they have down the side. Weapons pod. Here you've got the parts of the actual interior of the cockpit, including the back of the bulkhead there in the armour plated tub. And you've got all your seats there. Headrests here. Whoops. Headrests are here. That's that one. Very nice. And then you've got the sort of business end. Got a couple of parts off the sprue here again. Seems to be it's quite hard plastic this compared to the normal ICM grade. This darker grey. It's quite firm, quite hard plastic. I think it snaps off the sprue quite easily. But don't let that put you off, because it's a nice kit this. It's got lovely detail. Look at all the rivet detail there on the tails. They've done that nicely. Instrumentation. Tail rotor here. It's nice. Yeah, they've done it really well. There's your instruments. Wow. And then, whoops, another couple of gun barrels. They don't want to stay on. Certain parts just all seem to have fallen off, as though they're a bit weak on the way that they are designed on the sprue. Some of these feel a bit, yeah, they might not stay on that long. And then you get your main rotor blades, look. And that's got some lovely detail on it. Look at that. Oh yeah. Fantastic. There's the main fuselage side. I mean, this is a cracking little kit, and it's not too big either. It's just the right size. Still fair size though. It's not tiny. You know, it's going to take up the same sort of room as a sort of a 48 scale Phantom, thereabouts. Yeah, it's a fair size. Perhaps not quite as big as 48 scale Phantom, but certainly a 48 scale Harrier. Let's put it that way. Easy. There's your stabilisation planes, fins, and there's the underside of the main fuselage. It's a really nice kit. It's got this lovely detail, you know. I mean, these rivets are really nicely done. Whether you'd say they were a bit overdone, I don't know, but they're very, very evident. Quite characterful, I'd say. Only downside with a design like this is it's a bit old school. This is going to sound like a negative, but I'm not going to mark it down for this, I don't think. It's just that you've got a split right down the centre of the actual fuselage, and you know, you're going to have a join there. And a lot of the modern helicopters, like the Tacoms and the Mengs, things like that, they avoid that now, and they have like an overlapping, interleaved sort of section that drops in to try and avoid having an obvious connecting line down the centre, you know, which is understandable really, because it just often needs a bit of clean-up, doesn't it? Well, there we go. I have to say that there's a lot of kit here for your money. I think it's very, very good value indeed, and I think you've got to bear that in mind when I give it a rating, to be honest, because you're getting so much, especially with all this matting. So if I can just make that slide in there, which it's actually doing fairly cooperatively, more so than some of the ICM ones do. It's not incorporated that much because it's not going all the way in. There we go. So, yeah, a fairly brief view, but I think that, I say, we have seen it before, and it's a really great value package, this one. You're getting two kits in one. You're getting some premium, a real premium product. I say special hobbies. The quality is always very good, from what I've seen. And it complements ICM's landing mat. And in the other set you've got the option of the ICM. It's got the Bronco with this and the landing mat. And the Bronco, of course, is an ICM moulding. So, where are we with it? Anything I didn't like? I think I'm going to knock half off just for a couple of little things. There's quite a few parts off the sprue. I think that's probably typical in the kit, actually. And obviously you've got this slight concern about the join. I think 9.5 out of 10 is an excellent result for something like that, especially when you consider it's come from two different manufacturers, which creates, you know, uncertainty and maybe a weakness, but it doesn't in this case. It is actually a beautiful Cobra. You know, apart from these few tiny glitches, nothing that would cause you any concern in terms of building it whatsoever. So I think 9.5 out of 10 is fair score. That's where I'm at. Hope you'll give me a thumbs up, a 10 out of 10. Give us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you've done so, please remember to ding the notification bell and make sure you click the all option, because that's the way you get absolute certainty that you're going to get early notification about any forthcoming vids I'm doing. And that's it for now. Until next time, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found it interesting. There'll be more similar things coming along very soon, I hope. More reviews and more updates, things like the Mosquito will be able to update in the not too distant future. If I can just get time to do some work on it, because I'm too busy doing reviews, videos about Telford, or going to Telford. Anyway, I'm hoping that around Telford time I'll try and make sure that I catch up with lots of you, and if you've seen this after Telford, I hope that we did say hello, a few of you. And in the meantime, thank you very much for your time in watching the vid. Do appreciate your support. Please subscribe if you haven't already, it all helps the channel. And thank you for joining me today. See you again in the near future. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.